Jake Morrison wiped the sweat from his face as he watched the last cargo ship leave the landing pad. The New Geneva spaceport was finally quiet after a busy day. He had been working security here for 3 years now, ever since he left the Colonial Marines. It was a good job, even if it could be boring sometimes. He checked his watch. Almost time to go home. Jake started walking toward the security office to finish his reports when something caught his eye. A strange ship was coming down from the sky, but it was not using the normal landing patterns. The ship was sleek and looked almost alive, like it was grown instead of built. Its surface glowed with soft blue and green lights that moved like water. Jake grabbed his radio. "Control tower, this is Morrison. I see an unregistered ship coming in hot on pad 7. "Negative, Morrison," came the reply. "All pads are clear. Nothing on our screens." Jake looked up again. The ship was definitely there, landing on the restricted military section, but somehow none of the sensors were picking it up. That should have been impossible. The defense grid around Earth was supposed to catch everything. He ran toward the landing pad, but by the time he got there, the ship was already on the ground. The military security team arrived a few minutes later. They searched the ship, but found nothing except strange glowing marks on the walls that pulsed like a heartbeat. "Weird," said Captain Lee, the team leader. "Ship's empty, but it's still warm. Looks like whoever was flying it just vanished." Jake spent the rest of his shift filling out reports about the mystery ship. By the time he finished, it was almost midnight. He was tired and hungry, and all he wanted was to go home to his small apartment and get some sleep. The apartment building was quiet when Jake arrived. He climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor and put his key in the lock. But when he opened the door, he knew something was wrong. There was someone inside. "Jake Morrison," said a voice from the darkness. Jake's hand moved to his weapon, but he did not draw it yet. "Who's there? How did you get in?" A figure stepped into the light from the hallway. Jake's breath caught in his throat. The person in his apartment was definitely not human, but she was beautiful in a way that made his head spin. She was tall, maybe 7 feet, with 4 arms and skin that changed color like metal in water. Her eyes were large and intelligent, and they seemed to glow with their own light. She wore armor that looked like it was part of her body, covered in the same glowing patterns Jake had seen on the ship. In her lower hands, she held something that might have been a weapon, but she kept it pointed at the floor. "I am Zara of the HFY warrior caste," she said. Her voice was musical but strong, and it seemed to vibrate in Jake's chest. "I have traveled very far to find you." Jake's training kicked in. He should call for backup, but something stopped him. The alien woman did not seem hostile, just determined. And there was something else. Behind her, barely visible in the shadows, was a small figure. "I know this is difficult to understand," Zara continued. "You have never seen me before, but our lives crossed paths 9 years ago. You helped save my ship and my crew when we were damaged and alone in deep space." "That's impossible," Jake said. "I would remember meeting aliens." Zara's expression became sad. "Your memories were taken from you by your own people. They thought it was safer that way, but I never forgot your kindness." She gestured with one of her upper hands, and the small figure stepped forward. It was a boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old. He looked mostly human, but his ears were slightly pointed, and his eyes changed color like his mother's skin. He was small for his age, but carried himself with confidence. "Meet your son, Alex," Zara said quietly. Jake felt like the world had stopped spinning. He stared at the boy, looking for something familiar. The child had Jake's nose and stubborn jaw, but everything else was alien. The boy looked back at him with curious eyes that seemed far too old for his face. "Hello," Alex said in a voice that was definitely human, despite his strange appearance. "Mom told me a lot about you." "This can't be real," Jake whispered. He sat down heavily in his old chair. "This has to be some kind of dream." Zara moved closer, her movements graceful despite her size. "I know it is hard to believe, but I can prove it to you." She touched something on her armor and a small device appeared in her hand. It projected images into the air between them. Jake saw himself, 9 years younger, in a colonial marine uniform. He was working on the hull of a damaged alien ship, his face serious with concentration. In the images, he was helping wounded aliens, sharing his water and medical supplies with beings he had never seen before. "You were the only human who showed us kindness," Zara explained. "Your commander wanted to leave us there to die, but you argued with him. You said all life was worth saving." Jake remembered that mission now, but only barely. It had been classified at the highest levels. The official report said they had found debris from an unknown ship, nothing more. But looking at these images, he knew they were real. "Your people wiped your memory when you returned," Zara continued. "They said it was for Earth's safety, but they did not know that I was already carrying Alex. In my culture, when someone saves your life with such courage, it creates a life bond. Alex is the result of that bond." The boy stepped forward. "I know this is strange for you," he said. His voice was calm and mature. "But Mom is telling the truth. I can show you." Alex closed his eyes, and suddenly, every electronic device in the apartment turned on at once. The television, the computer, even Jake's old radio started playing different channels. Then, just as quickly, everything went quiet. "I can talk to machines," Alex explained simply. "It's one of the things I inherited, from both of you." Jake looked at his son, then at Zara. Part of him wanted to call security, to report this impossible situation, but another part of him, the part that had been lonely for so long, wanted to believe this was real. "Why are you here now?" he asked. Zara's expression became worried. "Because Alex is in danger. There are others in the galaxy who do not like what he represents. They are coming to Earth and they want to hurt him. I need your help to keep our son safe." Before Jake could answer, the lights in the building went out. Through the window, he could see that the whole neighborhood was dark, but Alex's eyes began to glow softly in the darkness. "They're here," the boy whispered. "We need to go now." Jake grabbed his emergency flashlight and weapon while Zara moved to the window. She looked out at the dark street below with her glowing eyes. "3 ships," she said quietly. "They are trying to hide, but Alex can sense their technology." "Who are they?" Jake asked, checking his pistol. "The hegemony," Zara replied. "They believe that different species should never mix. They think Alex is an abomination that must be destroyed." Alex walked over to Jake's computer. Even though the power was out, the screen lit up when the boy touched it. "Dad, I need to show you something important." Jake felt strange hearing himself called Dad by this alien child, but there was no time to think about it. On the screen, he saw a map of the galaxy with different colors marking various regions. "The galaxy is at war," Alex explained, his young voice serious. "But most people don't know about it. It's a secret war between 2 groups. The hegemony wants to keep all species separate," Zara added. "They believe mixing different kinds of life makes everything weaker. The Alliance believes cooperation makes everyone stronger." Jake studied the map. Huge sections of space were marked in red for the hegemony, while smaller blue areas showed Alliance territory. Earth was marked in yellow, meaning neutral. "Where do humans fit in this?" Jake asked. Alex manipulated the computer with his mind, bringing up new images. "Humans are special, Dad. You adapt faster than any other species. You find solutions when everyone else gives up. Both sides want you to join them, but for different reasons." "The hegemony fears you," Zara explained. "They call humans the contamination, because you make other species want to change and grow. They think if you spread through the galaxy, you will destroy their perfect order." "And the Alliance?" "The Alliance sees humans as the key to winning the war. Your people can work with anyone, learn any technology, and never give up hope. You are natural bridge builders." Suddenly the building shook. Through the window, Jake could see figures moving up the fire escape. They looked human, but they moved too fast and too quietly. "Hegemony infiltrators," Zara said, drawing her weapon. It was unlike anything Jake had ever seen, looking more grown than built. "They wear human faces, but they are not really human." "How many?" Jake asked. Alex closed his eyes for a moment. 6 coming up the stairs, 4 more surrounding the building, and 2 on the roof. They have weapons that can disintegrate matter. Jake looked at his simple pistol. This won't be much help then. Zara smiled, and for the first time she looked almost human. Your weapon is not your gun, Jake Morrison. Your weapon is your mind. She handed him a small device that looked like a piece of living metal. This will adapt to your fighting style, but more importantly, Alex will help guide you. I'm not letting a child fight, Jake protested. He won't fight, Zara said, but he can see their movements before they make them. Alex, show your father what you can do. The boy touched the wall, and suddenly Jake could hear voices through the building's communication system. The infiltrators were talking to each other in a strange language, but somehow Jake understood them. Target is on 3rd floor. Child is with him. Orders are to eliminate all 3. How am I understanding this? Jake whispered. Alex is translating for you through the building's electronics, Zara explained. He can also predict their movements by reading their electronic equipment. The first infiltrator reached their floor. Jake could hear its footsteps in the hallway, but they sounded wrong, too heavy for a human. Alex grabbed Jake's hand. Suddenly, Jake could see the building like a 3-dimensional map in his mind. He knew exactly where each enemy was and where they were going. Now, Alex whispered. Jake kicked open his apartment door and fired at a spot in the hallway that looked empty. But the strange weapon Zara had given him struck something invisible. The infiltrator became visible as it fell, revealing a creature that looked almost human but with too many joints and gray skin. They use cloaking technology, Zara explained, moving past Jake into the hallway, but Alex can see through it. The next few minutes were chaos. Jake found himself fighting with skills he didn't know he had. The alien weapon in his hands adapted to every situation, becoming a rifle when he needed range, and a sword when enemies got close. Alex guided him through the building's layout, helping him avoid traps and ambushes. But the most amazing thing was how he and Zara fought together. Despite never training with her, they moved like partners who had worked together for years. She covered his weak spots while he protected her flanks. Behind you, Dad, Alex called out. Jake spun and fired, hitting another infiltrator that had been sneaking up on them. The creature dissolved into gray dust. How did you know? Jake asked his son. I can feel their electronics, Alex said. All their equipment has a signature that I can read. It's like they're shouting their positions to me. They fought their way down to the basement of the building. Zara led them through a door that Jake had never noticed before. Behind it was a tunnel that stretched into darkness. The Alliance built these tunnels years ago, Zara explained as they ran. We have been preparing for this war longer than you know. As they moved through the underground passages, Zara told Jake about the larger conflict. The hegemony controlled most of the galaxy through fear and superior technology. They had conquered dozens of species by convincing them that mixing with others would destroy their purity. But humans prove them wrong, she said. When humans meet other species, both sides become stronger. That terrifies the hegemony. What about Alex? Jake asked. Why is he so important? Alex answered for himself. I'm not the only hybrid, Dad. There are others like me hidden all over Earth, children of humans and different alien species. We represent something new. The next step in evolution, Zara added. Not just for humans or aliens, but for all life in the galaxy. They emerged from the tunnels in an abandoned warehouse on the other side of the city. But it wasn't really abandoned. Jake could see sophisticated equipment hidden behind false walls, and people were waiting for them. Welcome to the Resistance, said a woman with graying hair and military bearing. I'm Dr. Lisa Park, xenobiologist. I've been studying human-alien interactions for 10 years. A man in a pilot's jacket stepped forward. Commander Ryan Torres, formerly of Earth Navy. I met my first alien 15 years ago. Changed my whole perspective on life. Jake looked around the hidden base. There were humans working alongside beings he had never seen before. Children who looked like Alex were helping with technical work, their hands moving over alien controls with impossible skill. How long has this been going on? Jake asked. The Alliance has been protecting Earth for decades, Dr. Park explained. We've been stopping hegemony infiltration attempts and studying the hybrid children, but now the secret is out. They know about Alex, Commander Torres added. And they know about the others. The hegemony is planning something big. Alex walked over to a large computer console and placed his hands on it. Instantly, screens all around the room lit up with information. Show them, he said to the machine. Images appeared showing hegemony ships massing at the edge of Earth's solar system. The fleet was huge, bigger than anything in Earth's navy. They're not just coming for the children, Alex said quietly. They want to destroy Earth completely. They think humanity is too dangerous to be allowed to survive. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. How long do we have? 3 days, Alex replied. Maybe 4 if we're lucky. Zara put her hand on Jake's shoulder. This is why I came to find you. Alex needed his father and Earth needs the Alliance, but most importantly, the galaxy needs humans to show them that cooperation is stronger than fear. Jake looked at his son, who was calmly organizing the base's defenses through sheer force of will and technological empathy. Despite being just a child, Alex was taking responsibility for protecting not just Earth but the future of all species. What do you need me to do? Jake asked. Alex smiled, and for the first time he looked like a normal 8-year-old boy. Be my dad, he said, simply, and help me save everyone. Jake spent the next day learning about his son's world. The underground base was much larger than he had first thought. Tunnels connected it to similar facilities across the globe, creating a hidden network that had existed for decades. There are 47 hybrid children on Earth, Dr. Park explained as she showed Jake through the medical section. Each one represents a different alien species that has quietly made contact with humans. Jake watched as children who looked almost human worked alongside adults, their strange abilities making impossible tasks seem easy. A girl with silver hair was repairing complex machinery just by touching it. A boy with scales instead of skin was communicating with dolphins through the base's computer system. How do they hide in normal society? Jake asked. Very carefully, Commander Torres replied. Most go to regular schools, have human adoptive families, live normal lives, but they all know about each other and they all know about the war. Alex found them in the communications room. Dad, I want to show you something. He led Jake to a wall covered with screens showing different locations around the world. These are all the hegemony infiltration sites I've been tracking, Alex explained. His small hands moved over the controls with expert skill. They've been on Earth for 20 years, slowly working to weaken our governments and military. Jake stared at the screens. He could see hegemony agents in government buildings, military bases, even corporate headquarters. How many of them are there? At least 3,000 that I can detect, Alex said. But they're very good at hiding. Some of them might even think they're really human. What do you mean? Dr. Park joined them. The hegemony has perfected biological disguises. They can alter their DNA to appear completely human, sometimes even fooling themselves. We call them sleeper agents. But Alex can spot them, Commander Torres added proudly. Their technology gives them away. Alex nodded. Every hegemony agent has implants that connect them to their command network. I can sense those implants, like a radio signal. Jake felt overwhelmed. His son was tracking thousands of alien spies while going to 3rd grade and doing homework. Alex, this is too much responsibility for a child. I'm not just a child, Dad, Alex said seriously. I'm a bridge between 2 worlds, and right now, both worlds need me. Zara appeared beside them with her silent alien grace. Jake is right, Alex. You should not carry this burden alone. That is why we are here. She activated a holographic display that showed the approaching hegemony fleet. They will arrive in 2 days, but they are not expecting to find Earth defended by Alliance. Technology. What's the plan? Jake asked. First, we expose the infiltrators, Dr. Park said. Alex has been mapping their network for months. Once we know who they are, we can neutralize them before the fleet arrives. Then we contact Earth's governments, Commander Torres added. It's time to reveal the truth about the Galactic War. Will they believe us? Jake wondered. Alex smiled. They will when I show them this. He touched the wall and every screen in the room lit up with recorded conversations. Jake could hear hegemony agents discussing plans to sabotage Earth's defenses and eliminate key military leaders. "I've been recording everything for 3 years," Alex explained. "Every message, every meeting, every order. The evidence is overwhelming." But, as they were planning their next move, alarms started blaring throughout the base. Red lights flashed and Jake could hear people running in the corridors outside. "What's happening?" Jake shouted over the noise. Alex's eyes went wide with fear. "They found us. Hegemony strike teams are attacking Alliance bases all over the world. Commander Torres was already at his communication station. Beijing base is under attack. São Paulo is gone dark. Sydney is requesting immediate evacuation." "How did they find us?" Dr. Park asked. Alex closed his eyes and connected with the base's sensor network. After a moment, he opened them with a look of betrayal. "One of the hybrid children. She's been compromised." Jake felt his heart sink. "Compromised how?" "The hegemony captured her parents," Zara explained grimly. "They forced her to choose between betraying us and watching her family die." "Where is she now?" Jake asked. "Conference room 3, Alex replied. "She's with the other kids, but she doesn't know we know about her yet." Jake made a decision. "I'll talk to her." "It's too dangerous," Dr. Park protested. "She might have weapons." "She's a scared child," Jake said firmly. "I'm not going to treat her like an enemy." Jake found the girl sitting alone while the other hybrid children worked frantically to evacuate the base. She looked about 12 years old with green-tinted skin and eyes that reflected light like a cat's. She was crying. "Hey," Jake said softly, sitting down across from her. "What's your name?" "Emma," she whispered without looking up. "Emma Clark." "I'm Jake. I'm Alex's father." She looked up at him with guilt and fear in her strange eyes. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They said they would kill my mom and dad if I didn't help them." Jake felt his anger at the situation, but not at this frightened child. "Where are your parents now?" "On a hegemony ship," Emma said. "They showed me pictures. My parents are in cages and they look so scared." "We're going to get them back," Jake promised, "but first I need to know what you told the hegemony." Emma wiped her eyes. "Everything. Base locations, how many kids there are, what Alex can do. They have machines that can read my thoughts when I don't want to tell them." Jake heard explosions in the distance. The attack was getting closer. "Emma, I need you to trust me. Can you do that?" She nodded. "Alex can track hegemony technology, right? Even their ships?" "Yes," Emma said. "He's amazing at it. Then he can find your parents. But we need to survive this attack first." Jake stood up and offered Emma his hand. "Come with me. Let's go help Alex save everyone." They ran back to the command center where chaos was taking over. Half the screens were dead, and smoke was drifting in from somewhere else in the base. "Dad!" Alex called out when he saw Jake. "The main entrance is compromised. They're using some kind of weapon that melts through our shields." "How many hostiles?" Jake asked. 12 soldiers plus support vehicles, Commander Torres reported. "Our people are fighting them in the upper levels, but we're outgunned." Jake looked at the tactical display. The hegemony forces were using superior technology to cut through the Alliance defenses like they were made of paper. "Alex, can you disrupt their equipment?" Jake asked. "I can try, but their systems are heavily shielded against exactly that kind of attack." Emma stepped forward. "I can help with that." Everyone turned to look at her. Dr. Park frowned. "Emma, we know about the hegemony contact." "That's why I can help," Emma said quietly. "They gave me a communicator so I could report to them, but if Alex can modify it, we might be able to turn it against them." Alex's eyes lit up with understanding. "We could use their own communication network to deliver a virus into their systems." "Is that possible?" Jake asked. "With Emma's help, yes," Alex said. "But she'll have to pretend to still be working for them." Emma looked scared but determined. "If it helps save my parents and everyone else, I'll do it." Jake watched his son and Emma work together, combining their unique abilities to create something the hegemony would never expect. Alex's technological empathy merged with Emma's access to enemy systems. "Got it," Alex announced. "But Emma has to be the one to transmit it. The virus is keyed to her genetic signature." Emma took the modified communicator with shaking hands. "What do I say to them?" "Tell them you're trapped in the command center with high-value targets," Jake suggested. "Ask for immediate extraction." Emma activated the device. When the hegemony commander responded, she delivered her message perfectly, sounding scared and desperate. As soon as the transmission ended, Alex triggered the virus. The effect was immediate. Through the base's sensors, they watched as the hegemony, weapons and vehicles simply shut down. The soldiers found themselves trapped in powerless armor, unable to move or communicate. "It worked," Dr. Park exclaimed. But Alex looked worried. "This will only work once. They'll adapt their systems after." This. Commander Torres was receiving reports from other bases around the world. Beijing base successfully evacuated. São Paulo is back online. The virus worked everywhere. Jake felt a moment of pride in what the children had accomplished, but he knew this was just the beginning. What about Emma's parents? Alex was already working on that problem. "I can track the ship they're on. It's in orbit, but it's trying to leave the solar system." "Can we stop it?" Jake asked. "Not from here," Zara said, "but I know someone who can help." She activated a communication device that projected a hologram of a stern-looking woman in military uniform. "General Patricia Blake, Earth Defense Initiative," the woman said. "Who am I speaking to?" "My name is Zara of the Kethvar. I believe it is time for our species to officially meet." General Blake stared at the hologram for a long moment. Jake could see the woman's military mind working, trying to process what she was seeing. "This is either the most elaborate hoax in history, or first contact just happened in my office," the general said finally. "It is no hoax," Zara replied. "Your planet is in great danger and we need to work together to save it." "Prove it," Blake said simply. Alex stepped into view of the hologram projector. "General Blake, your Deputy Director Colonel Marcus Webb is not who you think he is." The general's expression hardened. "That's classified information. How could... You know about Webb?" "Because he's been reporting to the hegemony for 6 months," Alex explained. "I can show you his communications if you want." Alex touched the projector and suddenly the air filled with recorded conversations. Jake listened in shock as he heard a man's voice discussing Earth's defensive capabilities with clearly alien commanders. "That's impossible," General Blake said. But her voice was uncertain. "Webb has been with us for 15 years. The real Colonel Webb died in a car accident 18 months ago," Alex said sadly. "The hegemony replaced him with one of their agents. I have the evidence." More recordings played, these ones showing the moment of replacement. Jake watched as alien technology was used to perfectly copy a human being's appearance and memories. "General." Blake was quiet for several minutes. Finally, she spoke. "What do you need from me?" "A meeting," Zara said. "Bring your most trusted officers, but make sure none of them are on this list." Alex transmitted a file containing dozens of names. "These are all hegemony infiltrators?" Blake asked, scanning the list. "Yes," Alex confirmed. "I've been tracking them for years. Some of them don't even know they're not really human anymore." 2 hours later, Jake found himself in a secure military facility he had never seen before. General Blake had moved quickly, quietly arresting the infiltrators on Alex's list and bringing in only officers she was absolutely certain were really human. The meeting room was tense. On one side sat Earth's top military commanders, still struggling to accept what they were seeing. On the other side were representatives of the Alliance, including several species Jake was meeting for the first time. "Let me make sure I understand this," said Admiral Chen, head of Earth's Space Forces. "There's been a galactic war going on for centuries, and Earth is about to be attacked by an alien empire that wants to wipe out humanity." "That is correct," confirmed Keth 9, an Alliance representative who looked like a walking crystal formation. "The hegemony sees humanity as a threat to their vision of species purity. But why?" asked General Rodriguez. We've barely left our own solar system. Alex stood up on his chair so everyone could see him. Because humans are different from every other species in the galaxy. You adapt faster, cooperate better, and never give up hope. The child speaks truth, added Vorton, an Alliance member who looked like a cross between a lizard and a bird. In 300 years of war, no species has ever successfully resisted hegemony conversion, but humans would never accept their rule. Jake watched his son explain complex galactic politics to Earth's most powerful leaders. Alex made it all sound simple, but Jake could see the weight of responsibility in the boy's young eyes. What proof do we have that this fleet actually exists? Admiral Chen asked. Alex smiled and walked over to the room's main computer. Without touching it, he made every screen light up with sensor data from around the solar system. Here they come, Alex said simply. The screens showed a massive fleet of alien ships dropping out of hyperspace near Pluto. Jake counted at least 50 vessels, each one larger than anything in Earth's Navy. My God, General Blake whispered. How many ships? 63 warships plus support vessels, Alex reported. They'll reach Earth in 36 hours at their current speed. Our entire Space Force is 12 ships, Admiral Chen said grimly. We can't fight that. You won't be fighting alone, Zara said. The Alliance fleet is already on its way, but the real battle won't be won by ships. What do you mean? General Blake asked. Alex brought up a new display showing Earth's population centers. The hegemony's plan is to use their infiltrators to disable our defenses from the inside, while their fleet attacks from space. But now we know who the infiltrators are. More importantly, Dr. Park added, we have something they don't expect. Hybrid children with abilities they can't counter. Jake watched as his son coordinated with children around the world, each one using their unique talents to prepare Earth's defenses. Emma was helping to track hegemony communication networks. A boy named Ben, in Tokyo, was interfacing with Japan's satellite systems. A girl called Maria in Brazil was working with that country's cyber defense teams. How are children doing all this? General Rodriguez asked in amazement. Because we're not really children, not in the way you think, Alex explained. We're the next step in evolution, human determination combined with alien abilities. The next several hours were a whirlwind of activity. Jake found himself appointed as a liaison between the military and the Alliance, helping to coordinate defenses he barely understood. But as the enemy fleet drew closer, Jake noticed something troubling. Alex was growing more powerful by the hour, but he was also becoming more distant. The boy who had called him Dad was now speaking in technical terms that even the generals couldn't follow. Alex, Jake said during a brief break in the planning, are you okay? His son looked at him with eyes that seemed to hold the weight of the galaxy. I'm scared, Dad. What if I'm not strong enough to save everyone? Jake knelt down so he was at Alex's eye level. You don't have to save everyone by yourself, that's what families are for. But I'm the only one who can interface with both human and alien technology at the same time, Alex said. If I fail, everyone dies. Then don't fail, Jake said simply. But remember, being strong doesn't mean being alone. Before Alex could respond, alarms started blaring throughout the facility. On the screens, they could see the hegemony fleet changing course, accelerating toward Earth. They're not waiting, Admiral Chen announced. Arrival time now estimated at 6 hours. The Alliance fleet? General Blake asked. Zara checked her communication device. Still 12 hours out. We'll have to hold them off alone. Jake looked around the room at Earth's defenders, military officers who had trained their whole lives for conventional warfare, scientists who understood theory but had never seen real combat, and children with incredible abilities who were still learning to control their powers. We need an edge, Jake said. Something they won't expect. Alex's eyes lit up with an idea. Dad, what if we don't try to stop them? What if we let them land? That sounds like surrender, General Blake said. No, Alex explained excitedly. It's a trap. The hegemony expects us to fight them in space where they have every advantage. But if we let them land, we can fight them on our terms. Jake began to understand his son's plan. Urban warfare, guerrilla tactics, make them fight for every city, block. And while they're distracted fighting humans on the ground, Alex continued, I can interface with their ships directly, but I need to be close to them. Absolutely not, Jake said immediately. It's too dangerous. Dad, I'm the only one who can do this, Alex said. But I won't be alone. I'll have you, and Mom, and all of Earth's military protecting me. Zara put her hand on Jake's shoulder. It is a good plan, Jake. Risky, but good. Jake looked at his son, seeing both the alien hybrid with incredible powers and the 8-year-old boy who needed his father's protection. What do you need me to do? Alex smiled, and for a moment he looked like a normal child again. Be my dad. Stay close to me. And help me show the galaxy that humans never give up. As the hegemony fleet approached Earth, Jake realized that the next few hours would determine not just the fate of his son, but the future of all life in the galaxy. But looking at Alex's determined face, he felt something he hadn't expected. Hope. The hegemony fleet filled the sky above Earth like a dark cloud. Jake stood on the roof of the military command center, watching 63 alien warships take positions around the planet. Each ship was the size of a city, bristling with weapons that could level mountains. They're beautiful, Alex said quietly, standing beside his father. Even though they're here to hurt us, you have to admit their ships are amazing. Jake looked down at his son. Even facing the end of the world, Alex could still find wonder in the universe. Are you ready for this? As ready as I can be, Alex replied. The other kids are in position around the world. Emma's parents are safe. Now too. We rescued them an hour ago. General Blake's voice came through Jake's radio. All units, enemy landing craft are launching. Estimated touchdown in major cities worldwide in 20 minutes. The plan was simple but dangerous. Let the hegemony land their troops, then fight them street by street while Alex tried to take control of their fleet from the ground. It meant putting millions of civilians at risk, but it was the only way to win. Dad, Alex said, I need to tell you something before this starts. Jake knelt down beside his son. What is it? If I take control of their ships, I might not be the same afterward, Alex explained. Connecting with that much alien technology could change me. I might become more alien than human. Jake felt his heart break a little. Are you sure you want to do this? I have to, Alex said. But I need you to promise me something. No matter what happens to me, remember that I'm still your son. Jake pulled Alex into a hug. You'll always be my son. Nothing can change that. Zara joined them on the roof. Her alien armor was gleaming and she carried weapons that hummed with energy. The first wave is landing in New York. Are you both ready? Let's go save the world, Jake said. They moved to the command center, where screens showed hegemony forces landing in cities across Earth. The alien soldiers were huge, wearing armor that made them look like walking tanks, their weapons carved through buildings like they were made of paper. But Earth's forces were ready. Instead of meeting the aliens in open battle, human soldiers used hit-and-run tactics, striking from sewers, rooftops, and abandoned buildings. The hegemony had expected a traditional war, but humans were fighting like guerrillas. Reports coming in from all fronts, General Blake announced. Tokyo resistance is holding. European forces have contained the London landing. Australian troops have the Sydney invasion bottled up at the harbor. Alex was at the main computer, his hands moving over controls that adapted to his touch. I'm starting to make contact with their fleet systems. It's harder than I thought. They have really good security. Jake watched his son work while explosions echoed in the distance. The battle for Earth had begun, but the real war was being fought in cyberspace between Alex and the most advanced computer systems in the galaxy. Got something, Alex announced. I can see their command structure. The lead ship is called Purity's Hammer. Their admiral is someone called HFY the Cleanser. Charming name, Jake muttered. He's sending a message to all the landing forces, Alex continued. I think I can intercept it. The main screen lit up with the image of an alien that looked like a cross between a lizard and a machine. When it spoke, Alex translated the words into English. Soldiers of purity, the alien admiral said. Today we cleanse the galaxy of the human contamination. Show no mercy. These creatures must be eliminated completely or they will infect other species. With their dangerous adaptability, Jake felt anger rising in his chest. They really see us as a disease. That's their weakness, Alex said with sudden understanding. They're so afraid of contamination that they've never learned to adapt, but adaptation is what humans do best. Alex's eyes began to glow brighter as he dove deeper into the Hegemony fleet's computer systems. Jake could see his son changing, becoming something more than human but not quite alien either. I'm in their navigation systems, Alex reported. And their weapons control. Dad, I can see everything they're planning. What do you see? If the ground forces can't win quickly, they're going to destroy Earth's major cities from orbit, Alex said grimly. They have weapons that can crack continents. Jake's radio crackled with reports from around the world. The human forces were fighting well, but they were slowly being pushed back. The Hegemony soldiers were too strong and too well armed. How long do we have? General Blake asked. 2 hours, Alex replied. Then they start bombing. Can you stop them? Alex was quiet. For a moment, his consciousness spread across dozens of alien ships. Maybe. But I need to do something that might be permanent. What do you mean? Jake asked, though he was afraid of the answer. I need to merge my mind with their central computer, Alex explained. It would give me complete control, but I might not be able to come back afterward. No, Jake said immediately. There has to be another way. Dad, please, Alex said. This is what I was born for, to be a bridge between species. Zara spoke up from across the room. There might be another option. Alex, can you connect the hybrid children to the fleet network? Alex's eyes widened with understanding. Yes, if we all work together, we can share the load. No one person has to sacrifice themselves. Jake felt relief wash over him. Do it. Alex reached out through the global communication network, connecting with hybrid children on every continent. Emma in New York, Ben in Tokyo, Maria in Brazil, and dozens of others. Each child added their unique abilities to the group effort. We're in, Alex announced. All systems are accessible. What should we do? Jake looked at the tactical display showing Hegemony forces advancing through Earth's cities. Can you turn their weapons off? Better than that, Alex said with a grin that was pure human mischief. I can turn their weapons around. Across the planet, Hegemony soldiers found their weapons refusing to fire, their armor locked up, trapping them inside metal shells. Their vehicles simply stopped working, but Alex wasn't finished. Working with the other hybrid children, he began broadcasting a signal to every ship in the Hegemony fleet. What are you doing? Jake asked. Showing them. The truth, Alex replied. On every screen in the Hegemony fleet, images began to appear. Humans working alongside aliens. Hybrid children using their abilities to help both species. Cities where different kinds of beings lived and worked together in harmony. This is Earth's vision for the galaxy. Alex's voice echoed through every Hegemony ship. Not conquest or purity, but cooperation. Not fear of differences, but celebration of them. Jake watched the screens showing Hegemony soldiers around the world. Many of them had stopped fighting and were staring at their displays in confusion. You are not monsters, Alex continued. You are just afraid. Afraid that change will destroy what you are. But change doesn't destroy. It creates something new and better. Admiral Kethvor appeared on the communication channel, his mechanical face twisted with rage. Silence, abomination. You are exactly the contamination we came to. Stop. No, said a new voice. One of the Hegemony soldiers had removed his helmet, revealing a face that was almost human but not quite. I remember now. Before the conversion, I had a family. I had dreams. More Hegemony soldiers began removing their helmets. Jake realized that many of them were not naturally warlike. They had been modified, conditioned to hate anything different from themselves. The conversion process. Alex whispered in understanding. They don't just conquer species, they change them, make them forget who they used to be. Alex worked frantically at the controls. I can reverse it. The conditioning, the memory blocks, all of it. But it will take time. Do it, Jake said. Around the world, hegemony soldiers began to remember who they had been before their conversion. Many of them threw down their weapons and surrendered. Others turned their guns on their commanding officers. Admiral Keth Vor screamed orders, but his own crew was beginning to rebel. Destroy the planet. Destroy it now before the contamination spreads. But Alex had anticipated this. Working with the hybrid children, he had already taken control of the fleet's weapons. Instead of destroying Earth, the hegemony ships began to land peacefully. It's over, Alex announced, but his voice sounded tired and distant. Jake looked at his son and saw that the boy had changed. Alex's eyes now held depths that seemed ancient, and his skin had taken on a subtle luminescence. Alex, are you okay? I'm different, Alex admitted. But I'm still me. Still your son. Zara approached them with tears in her strange eyes. You did it, Alex. You ended a war that has lasted for centuries. We all did it, Alex corrected. Humans, aliens, hybrids. We worked together. General Blake was receiving reports from around the world. Hegemony forces are surrendering everywhere. Their ships are powering down weapons and requesting permission to land peacefully. Jake pulled Alex into another hug, not caring that his son now felt slightly different, slightly alien. I'm proud of you. What happens now? Alex asked. Zara smiled. Now we build something new. A galaxy where different species work together instead of fighting each other. 3 months later, Jake stood on the observation deck of humanity's first joint colony ship. It was a marvel of combined technology, built by humans and a dozen alien species working together. Alex, now recognized as the first ambassador of the new Galactic Alliance, was leading a crew of humans and former hegemony, members on a mission to explore on